welcome back to another episode of Hops Handshakes. This is numero 17, if I got answered correctly in my Slack channel with my team at 21 Handshake. We are with Gabe Ellis. Gabe, we're in your hometown. Where are we?
Israel.
Okay.
Not
okay.
where I was born.
Okay.
I like to throw that in there because it makes me interesting.
Yep, okay. We're not quite there yet.
We're in Plainfield, Illinois. Actually featured on the Stephen Colbert show last week.
Was it?
It was.
And what location are we at?
This is Blue.
Blue. This is Blue. Okay, cool. You guys, I'm gonna knock this off. John and Tom are helping us out. We appreciate their help on this because God knows Gabe and I couldn't execute something like this on ourselves. So, Anyway, thanks for being on, man. It's a pleasure. First of all, this is Hops and Handshakes. What type of hop do you have there?
This, my friend, is a Roselle.
It's very nice.
This,
That's nice.
I went with a peach acre. I went with a what do they call that? Help me out. What do they call it? What's it called?
I don't know, but you look like you're going to take a shot at other than
it's a light beer. I wanted to pace myself.
Is it like the rosé of beers?
It's not very good.
Oh, okay.
It's decent.
Are you getting? All right. Well, what are you getting next?
Rosé again.
Do you want to switch that?
I don't like to switch things.
Okay. All right. I am drinking the Lagunitas IPA. Definitely local in California, 2,500 miles away.
A cider beer is what I was going for.
Cider beer.
Cider beer.
All right. Gotcha.
Light, easy, no big deal.
All right. So, a little background. I typically give a quick little intro to how I know you.
Sure.
I won't tell the real story, just tell a fake one. No, anyway,
Better.
Gabe and I have grown up together. I probably met you in 5th, 6th grade-ish, something like that.
Seems about right.
All right. And more on a serious note, been friends for a long time. Done a lot of different things in business together. But before we get into Gabe's story, I do want to address one of the things that I think you're going to get out of this is just a positive mentality and a commitment to winning in any situation. My brother here has put himself in some very interesting situations from time to time, and he seems to always come out on top. And I've admired that about you. And if you have one label, is you just know how to win.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate him being on Hops and Handshakes. He's not a friend, he's a brother. But we want to dive into his story a little bit. And with that, Gabe, tee it off, man. Talk about what you're doing right now, and then let's kind of take a step back. Here's what I'm doing now, but take a step back on how you got there.
Mentally, I am a 7th grader who still thinks he has a shot at the NFL.
Sure.
Physically,
the whole Wes Welker thing pisses you off to no end. I know that.
You know what? That didn't exist when I was a kid. There was tall receivers, but I am the Wes Welker. Wes Welker, I am you. And you know what? No, I've been gifted to have a great upbringing with parents that installed confidence in me.
Yep.
And I've taken that confidence to an unseen level. But what you said is that life is based on results, winning or losing. And so I just try to put myself in the most winnable, predictable situations as possible. But I do flourish when I'm kind of against the grain in the worst odds possible.
Sure.
I like those. That's a fun place to be.
What goes through your brain when that happens? Like what happens, right? Because there's a lot of people that shut down and they don't respond the way you do.
Yeah, well, I think that part of it is just, it's the mindset that you can literally just do anything. You can get out of any sort of jam. You can actually overcome anything. Nobody gives themselves enough credit. I give myself too much credit at times, which can be troublesome.
Okay.
But I was designed to be great. I was designed to be a leader. I was designed to influence people and make their lives better. And I guess I believe it. I believe it more than I think people actually believe in themselves.
6th grade. I'm going to piggyback on it. 6th grade, we're on a basketball team together. He's starting point guard. I'm the fat kid on the bench, maybe trying to check him every now and then. Mostly brought donuts and maybe a little bit of water to Gabe. But anyway, what I do remember is being at, what was it, gym in Lansing?
Aim High?
Is that Aim High? No, was that down there? But it was not the new Aim High, right? But it was the old one.
The old Aim High, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right, okay. And I walked into the bathroom before the game, and I'm nervous because I'm always nervous at this age or whatever. And Gabe is looking himself in the mirror. I haven't even told you this. And he's reciting, Gabe Ellis! And you just kept saying it over and over to yourself.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of older kids are walking through there, and you're just looking at your mirror, talking to yourself, announcing your name.
Yeah, I had a disease of not being very aware of the
Surroundings?
anything else around me. I don't know, man. I've got like a theory on life, and it's just to have fun. Like people take life so seriously, they take themselves so seriously. Dude, I laugh a lot.
Yep.
I joke around probably way too much. I don't do things I don't like to do, which I think a lot of people think they're stuck in a position they can't get out of, which is never true. But I think I'm really good at.
Oh, hold on one second. Your peach juice.
Oh my God,
is back.
my peach
Thank you.
juice.
Thank you.
I think that, I like to think that I'm good at helping people recognize there's a greater potential within them to actually live the life that they want instead of just being stuck and mediocre.
Okay. So, what do we do currently today? Like, what's our occupation? What do we do on a day-to-day basis?
So, I actually don't even like my title. I'm a chiropractor, but I think I'm so much more than a chiropractor. I'm a leader. I think I'm a leader. I'm an influencer. I think that I help people realize the greater good of within themselves.
Sure.
And really, my theory is this: everybody was born to be a leader. Now, the definition of what that means to them is different based on the person. So, I tell my daughter, like, all you got to do in life is be a leader. Whether that's a leader of yourself or a leader of 10 people or hundreds of people, figure out what you're a leader of, and just be super confident and believe in it.
A chiropractor is a leader.
I'm a leader. I believe that.
Do you feel like that confines you?
I believe that there's probably more. I think that, and through talking to you, and you're one of those people that kind of helps me think outside of the box, but I am not good at being confined within four walls, and the chiropractic clinic is a four-wall clinic. So my goal in life is to embrace life, first of all, to the fullest.
Okay.
Like we're not around for a long time.
Right.
I'm realizing that more and more.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I want to leave this world in the legacy zone, which is I've made so many impressions and helped so many people that like my name isn't forgotten when I pass, when I'm gone. Man, that sounds like a dreadful conversation.
No.
But man, there's a legacy zone that I'm trying to create. I'm really trying to create a legend, a legacy thing.
It doesn't sound morbid, but it does sound like when you're too tired and it's too late and you don't have the energy you do now, because we are not in sixth grade anymore, but we're not 90 years old either, right? What do you want to have? What do you want to have done? Like, what will you regret? Like that kind of, for me, that's scary to me. Is like
regrets.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because we kind of can do a lot of things at our age right now.
So yeah, it's about seizing opportunity, but I think that what happens a lot of the times is that opportunities are not recognized. Like people are walking around life without realizing there's opportunity to the right of them, to the left of them, to the conversation they're having right now at this moment.
Sure.
And I think that I just have like an open mind, and I try to listen as much as I can. But I'm not fearful of regrets. Like, cause I'll try everything.
My regret would be not trying it or doing it.
Yeah, no. See, I've got myself in some really sticky situations trying everything. That's fine. I'd rather.
That's right. I forgot about that. Okay, you're right. We're coming at this from two completely different angles.
I'd rather learn the hard way than not learn at all.
Okay. All right, I got it. That makes sense. So, but currently today, you operate a successful chiropractic clinic, right? Family man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You got a great family. Your wife has low expectations of men, is why she's married you. I've met her, and your daughter's awesome.
Dude.
You got a son on the way. Like, life is really good, right?
Life is really good. Life is really good. And by the way, my wife is the strongest woman that I know. So her expectations have, I don't know if I've met them, but I've realized the amount of respect that I deserve to give her. That's a true statement. I mean, I'm not.
I'm playing with you, man. You guys have an awesome relationship.
I'm saying this because
his wife's going to watch.
And I want to make sure that there's no other woman.
Yes.
No, I think, you know what, first of all, having a daughter, I had a daughter 2 years ago. and I've realized a whole lot of important lessons.
Sure.
First of all, there's this thing called the Gabe Show.
Yeah.
that my wife makes very clear. Like, sometimes I try to be the center of attention, right? When you have a daughter, she teaches you some valuable lessons like patience and like what real love and true love is about. Like true feelings that I didn't know existed, although I thought I did know. You know,
Yeah.
dude, life is phenomenal if you can wrap your mind around how phenomenal it actually is.
Do you think a lot of people get in their own way?
100%. I do the same thing, right? There's
How
time.
do you get in your own way?
Dude, you think about things too much. You oversimplify. Life is super simple, right? Like I understand we have a ton of chaos, we have a ton of material thrown at us, and we get lost in that shuffle. Overconsumption is the recipe for disaster. You know what I mean? Even that man going on the jukebox, did you see how much time he took to pick out a song?
Way too many songs.
He knew what he wanted.
Way too many songs.
He wanted Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, and he got Kevin Gates. Who the hell is Kevin Gates?
Kevin Gates, also
Do you know
the
Kevin
recipe
Gates?
of disaster.
Do you know
No,
that guy?
God, no, I don't.
All right, Kevin, if you see this, I'm sorry. All right, so lay it out to me, right? You learned a lot, successful chiropractic clinic, right?
Sure. Two.
Two. Now let's go back to this impact that you want to have. You've done a series on that. If people haven't seen that, that's definitely a very good piece to watch.
Yes,
Talk
it
a
is.
little bit about that. I mean, and what created that? Like,
All right.
there was a building process that's happened with you in the last 6 to 9 months.
Well, Isaac, if you don't know, you do know. You've been through a chiropractor. Chiropractors they make a bad name for themselves oftentimes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so what I knew about chiropractic and what I was seeing on an everyday basis was not the story that people have been telling themselves or they've experienced or heard. And I was like, Rachel, my wife Rachel, I was like, we need to like document and share some of these stories. Like this is incredible. The things that people are coming in with, the medications they're getting off of, the health crisis they're overcoming just through a simple adjustment.
Sure.
Like it became everyday norm to me. Well, Rachel, not being a chiropractor, was like, do you understand how amazing like this process is that just happened? And she opened my eyes.
You were too deep in the woods to really.
Oh, dude, it
really-
was my norm.
Your norm.
Like
All right.
and that's another thing. Like getting comfortable and normal, that's a scary place to be if you're there for a long time.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think Rachel and I both came up with the idea to document some of these success stories through a series we called I Am Impact, and just showing the health transformations of patients, which was something we had no expectations. It was literally a mom and pop, husband and wife. She filmed me. She would spend hours editing. We would fight constantly about like how it looked, and then love each other at the end. Because what happened was people were gathering around the story.
Yep.
And dude, we were getting like thousands and thousands of views, 10,000 views a video. And I was like, now the entrepreneur side of me
Sure.
was like, holy cow, man, we could actually like reach a lot of people.
Sure.
She's more of, out of the spotlight kind of girl. Like, I don't need any attention.
Mama bear.
She's mama bear.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I don't want to be on camera. I respected that. She did a great job of editing. She dedicated her heart to it. And we touched a lot of lives. We made a lot of impact on people's lives. So my clinic grew because of that. Again, never the goal in the beginning.
Right.
And then, the project became too big. So I hired this badass group, Mad Suburban Productions. Mad Suburban Productions! John and Tom, my boys, man, so I made a financial commitment to make this second season like better and bigger than ever.
Sure.
And so it's more about like teaching people what we're talking about today is like mindset.
Yeah.
Crediting yourself, understanding that you have the God-given potential to be just super amazing and just unleash it. And so season 2 was, we had 20,000 views on video. Like it was just fun, man. It was
That's
fun.
good. That's awesome.
And like it's not about the views, although it's all about the views. No, it's not about the views. It's about what are people taking. If you have 20,000 people watching anything, what lesson?
You impacted.
Yeah, what
at
can you
least
impact,
for a
man?
3 to 10 second time frame, you impacted them.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm pumped about that.
Yeah, that's the exposure. Well, very good, man. What did you learn through that process? What did you learn through the process of when you started that, Rachel, yourself?
I learned
picking up-
transparency is cloudy. It's not what dude, there's so many obstacles that come up in the way. Like Tom, John, and I, we spent so many hours behind the scenes than we did actually in front of the scene. Never could have predicted the threatening messages that came, never could have predicted the stuff that just happened that we never showed because we were trying to protect people.
Sure.
But it shows that, like, I think there's a lot of fear in people. There's a lot of fear to be your true, genuine, authentic self. What I learned about myself is, the more authentic and real and honest I am, the more people that I can reach, the more outreach that I'll actually have. Like, we all have blemishes. Like, it's okay not to be like the prototypical perfect person, which doesn't exist anyways, but we all play a role.
It's not relatable.
Yeah, we play a role, and if the role is not you, people will see through it eventually anyways.
You know, with our company, it's whenever we work with somebody, they want to try to hide all that stuff. I mean, I have clients still to this day that don't want to be, that are so nervous to be on social media because somebody might leave a negative review. And we educate them, that's your opportunity.
Absolutely.
To show you how human you are.
Yes.
Like, you can't fight it. Like, and by the way, it's always been happening. Like, the negative feedback or if somebody saying bad, it's always happened.
Right.
But you have the opportunity now to grasp it and show who you really are. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So, to your point, you've learned a lot about authenticity. You've learned a lot about, helping people. You don't become a chiropractor without wanting to help people.
Absolutely.
And then now 12 minutes ago, you said something about you're confined with the four walls of being a chiropractor. Talk about that. Talk about the confining and what are you doing about it?
So when you take a kid with ADHD and a ton of space, mental space.
Sure.
I would sit in bed and I would think, how can I help more people? What can I do?
Sure.
So what did I do? I went and did the next feasible thing, which was to open up another chiropractic clinic, right?
Yep.
Get another chiropractor to have the same core values, the same passion behind chiropractic and helping people. And the dude Dr. Mark is killing it. He's doing great. He's helping people.
He's a good dude.
But dude, I've always said this. There is a restriction and limitation on the chiropractic adjustment that, like, I need to figure out a way to overcome it.
Sure.
I need to figure out a way to, like, if chiropractic is always going to have a negative connotation, or based on total population, somewhat negative connotation, like, we might not reach the people we could reach. So I've opened up the discussion to how can I help that? How can I address that issue? And because I put myself in positions with smarter people, which I recommend everybody do, is hang out with people that are a lot smarter than you, like Isaac. An opportunity presented itself where, can I talk about this now? Can I go into this or no? Are you going to
talk wherever you want to?
I'm going to talk about Mahalo Wellness because
I'm just sitting.
Sure. Or Mike, Isaac, this is like an uncomfortable conversation that I've had with many people. If you tell somebody that you're unsatisfied or not meeting your full potential, but you have the looks of it from the outside, a nice house, a great family, a great clinic, 2 chiropractic clinics,
all right,
like people call you greedy.
You're checking the boxes of the societal world.
Dude, I would talk to John and Tom about this in private, man. I was like desperate for something bigger and better.
Yeah.
But like, if I presented that to most people, like I was judged. I was judged as like not appreciative or grateful. Dude, I'm the most grateful mother.
Yeah.
Here, I'm grateful, but I want to help more people, and I think that if I narrow my expansion or narrow my vision, like it's actually a curse to
suffocation.
It's suffocation, man. And I was suffocating. I really was. Mike, a good friend of ours, reached out to me a long time ago, and he presented an opportunity that I had no idea about the possibilities of it. Being in the medical field, like I knew of CBD oil, which we're going to get into, but I was just trying to help a buddy out. I was like just lending an ear.
It was like a year ago, right?
This was a year ago. It was in July. I was in Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
Mahalo. I was in Hawaii, and Mike
That's
reached.
funny.
Yeah. That's why it's full circle. And Mike knew something that I didn't know, which again, this is when people need to like just take a step back and listen. A lot of times we want to like come to the conclusion before we even know anything about the conclusion. And so I listened to Mike. I took a step back. what my wife has always installed in me is like, I'm a very reactionary person. I react before I actually think, right? So I thought about it. I thought about what Mike said. He said, dude, there's this healing power in a plant. And of course, my mind's going in a different angle.
Nope. My wife is about to walk through. She can walk through. All right, Shota. There we go.
There's a healing. There's a healing potion or lotion in a plant, in oil.
Okay.
So I'm always a big believer in this. I'm a big believer in holistic health. I'm totally against using and abusing prescription drugs. Like most people are basically, they're relentlessly told the wrong advice, or just told advice of a doctor one time, and they follow it without hesitation, without looking it up, without being their own doctor.
That turns into the way they live their life. Just that one person. Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier, man. If you're not your own doctor, your own advocate, like you are waiting for somebody to make your death sentence. You know. So I refuse to be.
It's not to put anybody else on blast and negativity. It's just there's so much going on in the body that they can't help you in 15 minutes.
And I should say this because I believe that every doctor, I truly do, I believe that, not every doctor, I believe that the majority of doctors, whether it's chiropractors, surgeons, medical doctors, family practitioners, got into the profession to help people.
Sure, they mean well.
That they mean well.
Yeah.
I think there's different philosophies on how the body can heal.
Correct.
I've always been the advocate that the body was given everything that needs to heal. We just need to unleash the healing potential or get out of the way of the body healing. Unfortunately, the medical model is basically two options: pharmaceutical drugs, prescription drugs, or surgeries.
Surgery. Yep.
Again, dude, I'm all for it. It saved thousands of lives. Like, no argument here, right? But I don't think we've used it the right way. I don't think it's been used the way that creates longevity and quality of life.
Sure.
And like, that's not a viewpoint now. I guess it's backed by statistics of the number of deaths by opiate drugs. Number 3 in the world right now.
You're not saying anything new.
So
it's supported.
I would love to have a product that would actually mimic the thing that pharmaceutical drugs do so well, which make people feel good, without the side effects. And it just so happened that Mike was onto something that I didn't know about.
Sure.
And the power that CBD oil has and what it's done for my patients, my own family, my mother, dude, it's life-changing. And I always thought, when something was too good to be true, you further yourself from that thing as far as you can.
Sure.
Dude, I could not deny what it's done for my patients. I can't deny what it's done for my mother, for her health. But the kids in our clinic that are off medications for seizures and ADHD medication, like, dude, like, what did we just give this kid? Like, we don't even know the benefits of if they continued on a road of prescription drugs for so long, what else did it create? Depression, anxiety, anger. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I got super passionate. And I'm stoked. I have more excitement right now in my life, in clinical life, than I ever did before. Ever.
Because you feel it allows you to affect wellness outside your four walls.
You know what? It allows people to do what they want, which is to get well without relying on me.
Sure.
Right? That's pretty powerful.
So what happens when somebody comes in your clinic? How much time do you have with them? Ranges, right?
I like to spend as much time as possible, but realistically, I've got 15, 25 minutes tops.
Tops, okay. And then how often do they see you? Maybe once, twice a week, something like that?
Ideally, yeah. They're there twice a month.
There's if they saw you once a week, there's 167.5 hours that they're not there. And
exactly
what are they doing, right? They're doing this. Doing this.
The same thing that all of you guys are doing. You're probably doing things that aren't ideal to your optimal function. And listen, if there's one person who doesn't want to be restricted by limitation, this dude.
Yes.
So it's like it's a balancing act, man. If you're going to have some beers, if you're going to eat unhealthy, if you're going to not necessarily exercise as much as you should, if you're going to have emotional stress, like, I want to counteract that with something that's going to make my body healthy. CBD oil has been researched thousands of times, thousands of different places for thousands of conditions, and the same thing keeps coming up. Results.
Yeah.
Results.
Well, it's undeniable. So, backstory on that, I was part of the conversation on how Mike called you.
Yes,
right?
you were.
And And then I go with Mike. This is Mike Liago, and we'll tag him. And
Oh, wait,
we'll put his face in there.
I don't even want to mention him.
You're not going to mention him?
Don't mention Mike Liago.
No.
Don't do it.
He's a.
I wouldn't. If I was given 3 things in life not to do, number 1, not mention Mike Liago. Number 2, not mention Mike Liago. Number 3,
Are we?
what's up, Mike Liago?
So anyway, we're doing that because
Great man,
We're,
great man.
We're very confident saying that he's always been smarter than both of us. You cool with that?
I have better attributes in other areas, but yeah, he's definitely smarter than I am.
Yeah, you got it. No, you can cut this out, whatever. No.
No, this is good. I
You like it?
this.
You cut
Oh,
this
I
out?
like
You cut
it.
like that? All right.
This is real.
He's smarter than you.
Dude, Mike's smart as hell. He's just
Okay.
he's a smart dude.
So I went to the marijuana conference with him. He invited me out there, and we're in Vegas. And again, I drank, but I never smoked. It was just not a thing. Like I told you earlier, I was the fat kid on the basketball team, so I didn't really feel the need to ingest anything that was going to make me hungry. All right, that was really the premise of it.
Solid stuff.
So-
yeah.
And then I finally started taking it, and I'll tell the story at some point in time, the full story of what I've been through after a few surgeries, but it made an impact. And then I gave it to a friend, and then I bought for somebody else.
Sure.
And I gave it to my dad, and then I gave it to my wife. And then it's like, it's undeniable.
You can't deny it. But
And it sounds weird saying that.
Yeah.
Like it sounds weird. It sounds, my office is
what's the word that it sounds
300
like?
yards from where multi-level marketing was created. I'm not going to name a name,
Yes.
but it's in Ada, Michigan. all
Sure.
right? And so I feel kind of like that, but like,
Yes.
you know what? I don't even care. Like it just works. It's very.
So once the one-time effect is a coincidence,
Yeah.
or no, let's say this: once is a miracle,
Sure.
twice is a coincidence, 3 times it's undeniable.
Yeah.
Right. That's how I feel. But to make the misconception clear, there's a clear difference between marijuana and CBD.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
CBD oil is incredibly high in CBD, or hemp is incredibly high in CBD oil, very
And
low
that's-
or non-existent in psychoactive THC.
And that's honestly the only reason why I took it is because I started off taking the honestly the non-THC version. you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
and I'm not
And then now
I'm
the
not
trace-
opposed to marijuana. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm for anything from Mother Nature that gets people off damaging, killing prescription drugs.
Sure.
But I don't need a psychoactive. Like, that's not who I am.
Yeah, I don't need it either.
I don't need that. But CBD, I take every single day. I take it to balance me through. My biggest default is ADHD. Like, I got a million things going on. When
Sure.
I take CBD,
And that helps
oil,
slow it down, right?
Dude, I have 2 things. I have 2 kinds of energy. I have scattered energy, which is my life up to this point.
Sure.
And I think I have focus energy when I take CBD.
Sure.
So I think I have a lot of great ideas, a lot of things going on. But when I take CBD, it focuses me. Whereas other people, it actually puts them to sleep, helps them sleep, helps them get through a night. So I just fell in love with the idea that one supplement, one oil, one plant could actually affect 10 people 10 different ways.
That is the craziest part.
It's awesome.
Because Mike told us that 6 months ago.
Mike's been telling both of us this for a long time, and
But
thankfully you guys kept the conversation going.
No offense to Mike and his intelligence level, because I trust him implicitly. I mean, I've known the guy since 3rd grade, but
That's when he had hair.
I had to see it. That's an interesting statement for you.
Sorry, Mike.
That's an interesting statement for you.
These Goldilocks don't come up. I'm the only. I credit my hair to 2 things: chiropractic and CBD. If you click below, you.
No.
Don't just kidding. Don't
No.
put that in there.
Don't click that. No, but it's fascinating to watch your friends around you, and I just bought it for everybody, and I gave it out, whatever.
You had to trust it, by the way, to do that. You would never. You wouldn't
Yeah.
give your friends.
Oh, I had it for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
I think it's 7 or 8 weeks. Mike sent me a bunch of it. I was like, I'm not a weed guy. That's what I basically said, because I didn't even know the distinction between the two. He's like, hey, it's just all the good stuff from the cannabis plant without the stuff that you're thinking about. I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. You know.
So yeah, look at our world. We have a movement. There is legalization of marijuana going on in every state. We know there's healing benefits of it. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a process of legalizing it.
Sure.
It's not the THC that's doing all the healing benefits. It's the
yeah.
CBD.
Yeah.
And so
that's
what Mike
what you have to
knew
learn.
well before many people, well before us, is that CBD could actually act as a wellness oil to solve a lot of problems for a lot of people that were looking for answers, and their lives were like, I'm not exaggerating when I say this, literally lives were devastated by chronic illness, autoimmune diseases.
Sure.
Dude, I haven't been there. I've lived a pretty healthy life.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people have some major
When you're
health
in
issues.
pain every day, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
What does that lead to? Depression. Like,
It's hard.
yeah. So when CBD filled that void and that toxicity and deficiency in the human body, I was like, I'm all aboard. And that's when I called you guys up and I said,
Sure.
I will sell every pair of pressed khakis that I have and every high-end hat that I own to be a part of this project.
I'm reminded by the line from Basketball where he says, first we get the khakis, then we get the girls.
You know what?
No?
I'm reminded by my line in 7th grade where it was, first we get the girls and then we take off the khakis.
This is the most fucked up interview I've done thus far. Okay. You will need to bleep and edit some of this out. We're almost done because I'm going to wrap it up. All right. You are certifiably nuts. But, all right. So, you're on this movement.
Yeah.
You started off as a chiropractor wanting to create wellness with people.
Yep.
You've done a great job to this point within the community that you live in. And next is other communities that you don't live in, right?
Yep.
That's the next
gotta
mission
be.
for Gabe.
Yeah.
All right, as you've gone through this process, what would you tell your 18-year-old self? The whole life, everything you've done. What do you tell the 18-year-old?
The spider dribble.
It's good. Can you still do it?
No. I would say stop practicing the spider dribble. My 18-year-old self,
I can do it.
I would say focus on what you're really good at. Spend less time trying to be great at what you're bad at.
Yeah. That's...
Right? We're all given.
Did you have self-awareness to even understand that?
No, not then. No, I mean you kind of have that magical field where you're invincible. You can do anything you want.
Sure.
I've realized that like we all, you guys included, were given some ability that was better than some other people.
It's a gift.
To
It's
hone
got,
in
you know,
on that gift, on that ability, make it your hedgehog quality. I talk about hedgehog quality all the time, which different conversation, different time. But to focus on what you're really good at and make it really great.
Gotcha.
And please, for the sake of this planet, make it a positive good.
When we remember Gabe Ellis, what are we going to remember?
You're going to say, that Mahalo hippie. No, sorry. What do I want? I want to be an influencer. I want to make my family proud, you know? So that like well after I'm gone, there's still a conversation of the wild man who tried to help as many people as he could and still was the best family man as possible.
Yeah, there you go. That's cool. Gabriel, thanks so much for being on Hops Handshakes.
That's it?
That's it. You want to keep going? They want to eat. Or what? Can we bring over the... oh, this is good. Oh my God, you're scary. Good. All right.
You get one?
I just don't. What I want, Isaac, is I don't want my daughter to cry.
We're going to put it in the